Welcome back to Titan Toy Museum. Today we're going to pay a second visit to the Sectaurs Hyve playset. This was a massive playset that Coleco built in 1984-1985 for the Sectaurs collection. What we have here before you is a used Hyve playset that I have modified to scale it down to 3 3/4 inch. Now I've already made one video on this, and there was a number of directions I was wanting to take that I didn't explore at the time of the last video. So I want to bring those to your attention today. So let's start here at the front end of the castle with the playset. Once again, you can see Prince Dargon up here on a substitute for his dragon flyer. The last time I think I called him Prince Zargon, but it's Dargon. Up at the very top is a little flyer that's from a Star Wars Yoda figure, and a little homemade Sectaurs soldier at the top manning a crossbow. I chose that crossbow because it's similar to the array that I've attached to the top of the playset. The original playset had a crane with a large ball that swung from it. I have maintained the ball, which I have here on a string that can swing down and hit opponents and stuff. I just really didn't care I didn't have the crane for one, and so as a good substitute, I went with this array, which came from the Star Wars Mustafar playset. Alrighty, so now if we take a look here at the entryway, I'm going to work my way down. I took the gate assembly from the 1980s Snake Mountain to bring this entryway into scale with the figures that I collect. Down below, on a previous video, I had just some little satellite dish or something. This is where a Vipex snake figure would come out and attack opponents. I wasn't one that's big for puppets, so what I did instead is I mounted my Sarlacc from a Star Wars playset, and it kind of serves the function of the snake coming out and grabbing opponents, you know. So, and it's kind of organic, so I kind of like that look. On the previous video, I had mounted in a window from Emperor Palpatine. I thought it looked kind of cool, but in retrospect, it didn't have the organic feel that the outside of the hive should have. And so I took another piece of the Snake Mountain play set that had a little tunnel and mounted that on the front here. The hole that was there looked rather unfinished, and that was probably because you had the hand puppet coming out of that. So I took a Shelob action figure from Lord of the Rings, and that makes for a good Nar spider. And given that I moved away from puppets, it's good to have an actual large creature in there. I have him grabbing a hold of a little customized scorpion figure, you might say, that I customized there. All right, so let's roll this guy around a little bit. If you recall, and you've seen in some of the other videos out there, the playset is very slender. I'm going to back up here just a little bit so you can see how slender this playset is. The original, coming off the sides here, it would have braces on either side to help keep this this juggernaut standing. It would fall over. And the shell here, it didn't have a bottom. So the corners here were starting to curl in. It couldn't support its own weight. And I go into a little bit in detail on the other video that I made where I'm just going to kind of tap here with my finger. These are two halves of a Castle Grayskull that I cut in half, mounted in the bottom, mounted to a base, and then all of that's tied together with the surround. That made it incredibly sturdy and allows the playset to stand on its own. So let's return back to the current upgrades to this playset. I've kind of went with the motif of the Ovions and Ovions from Battlestar Galactica, Gans from Star Wars. You know, they're just insect people. They kind of run the place with some of the Sectaurs helping, you know. So you got some computer components here. It's kind of like the big database, if you will, a data center for the Hive. Over across the bottom here, if I can zoom in a little bit, this is their bio lab. And you can see I kept the back piece from the original Hive. I just cut it down to fit into this little square here and added in, you know, some hydroponics there, you know. They grow shit or grow stuff. All right, moving to the second floor, we have just kind of like a corridor area. I had, it was outfitted a little different, and so I managed to get some walls. These are some walls from a Star Trek play set, as well as a Star Wars play set. And so it just kind of makes for a little, I guess, I don't know, lounge corridor area. And if I can go ahead and open this up, got this mounted a little better. Oh, there goes my Ovion. You can see there's the back end of Sheila. She's got her little nest back there. But that allows you to have access. There we go. Then moving to the very top, there's a main command center. I never liked the door. I mean, I love the round door. I just didn't like the surround that it had. It was just, you know, the black framing. It wasn't very attractive. So I found something a little more attractive to it. I lost the use of the door sliding open, but honestly, I'm probably never going to be doing that anyway. Give it some little walls, you know, try to close in the walls a little bit. And then I used a little Star Trek transporter device here. I'm going to try to move him out of my way. And try to activate this button here. There we go. Kind of give him a little glow. In the cartoon, in this command center, there was a device that could give a sector immense power, you know, over the elements and stuff. And so I wanted to try to incorporate something that kind of reflected that a little bit. Backing up just a little, there was a dead space up here, so I added a little command center to kind of finish that off. And I kept this little rotating device here so I can just have one little action feature in there. And then use some of the Star Trek transporting platforms for some ceiling decoration there and there. Try to back up a little bit. So there is my current upgrade of this Sectaurs playset. I hope you enjoy it. Owning a playset's like owning a home. If you want to keep it maintained, you got to stay on top of it. And as I always say, make it your own and enjoy what you have. Thank you for watching, and keep watching for more videos.